What do you think?
Well, what do I think? I think it's going to be pretty oppressive outside there with the weather, but I think other than that, we are really, really good. So we are live on Facebook now. Check us out. That's right, WCRS Radio. I am right here with you, I think. Am I here? Oh, yeah, there I am. I'm live on Facebook. Come on and join us over here. That's right. We're going to have a good conversation. We're going to play a little music. Yeah, there I am. Now I'm live on Facebook, too. So here you go. That's what we're doing here this morning. I tell you what, yesterday afternoon I was talking about before we did the live show how we got everything working yesterday afternoon. It was pretty cool. We had some great artists on with us. John Shane from North Carolina, John Chop Etheridge. We even had how many radio stations can say that? We had a rooster crowing in the background. Actually, he had a prime role there for a few minutes with John Chop Etheridge. He was sitting in his backyard, and the rooster came up, and he got the rooster to crow for us right here on the radio. Who can say that now, folks? That's news, isn't it? That's really news. Anyways, John Chop Etheridge will be up here, of course. He's a drummer extraordinaire. He'll be handling a lot of the making sure all the musicians are in their place where they're supposed to be, and making sure they sound good. So that's a really good thing. So, but we talked to him. We talked to Dave Keys. Oh my goodness, such a powerhouse of people that have done so many amazing things. He actually was a conductor on Broadway for a show there. And he also worked with Ruth Brown. He was talking about working with Ruth Brown, the producer, and Ruth Brown all in one room, and making of a CD, of course, that she was doing, and they were picking the music, and he was part of that process, and he said it was fascinating. So, I think sometimes we kind of overlook, right? What are the things that people have done? And that's one of the things that I enjoy, is looking back over a bio and then picking up and talking about some of those things right here on the radio. So we had a great conversation with him. Bruce Katz, I bet you didn't know. Did you know? Maybe you did. Did you know that he was also a professor at Berkeley Music School in Boston, and finally was traveling so much with the Allman Band, the Greg Allman Band, and a couple of others, that he had to make a choice: stay with the music or be a professor. And he said he really wanted to play music, so he gave up his professor gig. So these are the things that make it so interesting. Bruce Katz also plays a Hammond organ. In fact, he just got a brand new one that he's bringing down here to South Carolina. Of course, he said one of the problems is those organs are heavy, 425 pounds, 425 pounds of organ, and they have to move it around. So that's another little piece of trivia here. Then we had Johnny Rawls, famous Johnny Rawls, who is mentioned on two historical placards, one in Maine and one down in the Blues area, down there in the Delta. And I asked him why, and he was one of the first blues artists. I think he was the first blues artist to head into Maine. He said the people in Maine loved him. I was kind of shocked, because I'll be truthful. I'm not sure how many people actually have loved the blues. They may be more into the blues now, but when I was growing up, I never even had heard of the blues. So, and of course, I'm from Maine. But he said he loves to go to Maine. He's looking forward to coming down here to South Carolina. So we got a chance to talk to him, and that was great. So that's a little bit about what went on yesterday afternoon. It was a technological miracle. I got it all right. Can I do it 2 days in a row? That will be the question. 864-229-7984. Can I do it again? Let's see. Somebody says, let's see, what did I see? Somebody has just commented on what's going in on the site where they have flattened it out. And, the Whataburger. Yes, the Whataburger. Now, that is, they have actually put up the sign on the Whataburger. You know, it was Ruby Tuesdays. What was it before that? Was it McDonald's? I think when I first came to Greenwood, that was one of the things that was on the corner right there at where Kmart used to be. You know, you look back on some of the changes. Isn't it amazing? Kmart used to be right there. That became the U-Haul place. Ruby Tuesdays, I always thought that was a beautiful restaurant to go into. Now, I never thought that they quite connected on the food end, but I did love the environment that they had when you walked in the restaurant. And their salad bar was always pretty good, as salad bars go in a restaurant. But some of the other stuff they just never quite connected on, which I always thought was a shame because it was I'll use the word cute restaurant. So from that standpoint, I was sad to see them. And then I was sad that nobody ever moved in there and did anything with it, because it was would have been a beautiful place to have a restaurant already done. But they tore it down, and now Whataburger, and they actually, on the side of the building, it says Whataburger. Have you ever eaten at a Whataburger? I have not. But it is a burger, folks. It is a burger. All right. So, but yeah, we're looking for the place right in front of Belk's, They're flattening out the land out there, getting it all ready to build something. Now, popular notion is Chipotle may be coming, but nobody seems to know. Somebody else has said a car wash. If it's a car wash, I just give up, man. A car wash right in front of the mall? Well, it could be, but I certainly hope it's not a car wash. My goodness. Anyways, those are some of the things that are out there. If you know anything, if you are in the know, let me know. 864-229-7984. If I need to keep my mouth shut, mum's the word, I can do that too. All right. So what else do we have going on this morning? Whew. We've got, we talked about that this afternoon. We've got another artist blues cruise Rama going on. We start at 4 o'clock rather than 5 o'clock. And we'll be going till around 5:30-ish or so right here. We've got Logan Blizzard, another artist that will be here. Eric Selby. Randall Bramlett will be with us, Skylar Shoffley, and Bernard Purdy. So that's who our lineup is this afternoon. We'll be playing some music and talking to the artists. I hope you will tune in. Thursday, we've got an hour's worth of show, again starting at 4 o'clock, and Friday, again starting at 4 o'clock. Both of those we're going to have in studios Thursday and Friday. So much fun. And then this weekend, I want you to go in and get hooked up with notifications so you can follow me when I'm out on the street doing interviews. Yes, that's right. I'm going out on the street and we're going to do some interviews live on Facebook, not on the radio, just live on Facebook. So check that out. All right. So now that we've had all this exciting hoopla, we've got some more things to talk about. What I wanted to talk about, I really want your opinions, is do you believe, You can make your comments on Facebook Live or call or text 864-229-7984. Do you believe that what they are saying about the Epstein files, whether you're a MAGA person or not, do you believe exactly what the government is saying? I'm going to go on the record. I do not. I just don't believe that with all this hype that was going on, and now yesterday afternoon, the other thing that makes me curious too is President Trump had had a long, and I mean a long presser when they were getting ready to have a meeting yesterday afternoon with all his members of his cabinet. They opened it up to the press. And when one person asked about the Epstein files and something in the tape, in the video that had been released, Trump stopped everybody for a second. And he goes, with all the good things we have to talk about, why are we talking about that? I think he used the word scumbag, but I'm not sure. It was some derogatory comment about Epstein. Why are we talking about this? Which makes me wonder if there's not something more to it. And I have heard that some people are saying that they're lying so that they can come back and say, well, we had to lie because, right? And then they'll have a very good reason why they lied. So I would be interested as to what you think about it. It just seems like it's not so cut and dried. And why wouldn't, and all the tapes, this was the other thing, all the videos were all child pornography. There wasn't anything to it. And of course, they're not releasing those. And they were just videos of child pornography, not anything that Epstein, like Sean Combs' Diddy had in his cabinet. I don't know. It just seems totally bizarro. And I will say I was watching a show that they did with, what's his name? He's a talk show host. Now he's in the FBI, I think. And he was a Secret Service guy. God, he's on the tip of my tongue. I could see his face. I didn't actually believe when he was saying, oh, no, it was suicide. Because although he was trying to look at the camera and be direct, he failed, in my opinion, of being direct. So I would be interested as to what you think about that. Do you think it is for real? 864-229-7984. Or give me a shout out on my Facebook page, 864-WCRS 98.5 FM, 1450 AM. Give me a shout out. Say I have opinions or you don't have an opinion or whatever. Or you think it's like the president says, old news and who cares? I want to know what you're thinking. I just don't believe it. Dan Bongino, yes, that's who I was trying to think of. I didn't really think that Dan Bongino was being truthful. I know that's a horrible thing to say, Ann, but I just thought he was trying to say, no, it was suicide, nothing to it. I think there is a government cover-up here, despite what our government tells us. Let's see, what else have I heard here? Let's see, I've got some other things here. I don't believe... This is one of my chief texters here giving me her opinion this morning. I don't believe much of anything the government says. There has been so much smoke and mirrors and we have no choice but to question everything. Isn't that the truth? And yet, anybody that is questioning it from the government's perspective is a piece, they're just really mad at them, and thank God I'm not running for office. They can't do anything to me on that, right? But I do feel that they are not being truthful about it. As I said, somebody was saying that probably they'll come out, who knows, 6 months from now, a year from now. Oh, yeah, we lied, but we had to protect, yada, yada, yada. We'll see where this goes. Lots of speculation there, but it is one of those stories that I think is going to keep on giving, Elon Musk and longtime Trump ally claim a MAGA architect is in the Epstein file. Who knows? Who knows about any of this? Yes, what's his name? Steve Bannon. They are all into this story, So I don't know, but it is kind of hard to believe that where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And yet there is no fire where this story is right now. So I do find it hard to believe. So if you've got an opinion, 864-229-7984. Want to give me a shout out right here on the radio, on Facebook. Love to hear from you. WCRS 98.5 FM, 1450 AM. Now, we were going to start a little giveaway thing, but we're going to have to wait till next week because everybody that is participating did not get me their cards, so their giveaway cards. So we had a good time doing it a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to start some type of fun thing. I haven't really decided what, but you'll be able to win everything from Fat Daddies to the blizzards from Dairy Queen, and of course Frank's Car Wash. So this is something that is going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it. So that'll be coming up. But right now we have been talking about what happened with Epstein. Do you really think this guy would have killed himself? And it's just so odd that he had the time to do it, and nobody was checking on him, all this kind of stuff. And now you just come back, oh yeah, it was suicide. Yep, no question about it. Oh, and those files that were sitting on Pam Bondi's desk that supposedly had the client list, etc., etc. No, we're not looking for anything there. That was nothing there. Nothing. Poof. What did they do? Shred it, or did they put it in the secret file? Sunshine is supposed to be, and now they're actually talking about whether Pam Bondi should be gone. But President Trump's reaction was, with all these other things to talk about, why are we talking about this? Is a good question. Why are we? Because we don't feel we have the whole story. All right, moving on to another topic that is out there. Today is Wednesday, so they are out there at the farmer's market this morning. If you'd like to go out and get some fresh produce, they are out there this morning, right out there at the Wilbanks Recreation Center, right there at the old farmer's market site. So make sure you check that out if you're going. They'll also be open Saturday morning. All right, what else do we have here today? Thursday afternoon, they will be closing. Uptown Greenwood around 5 o'clock. Everything gets cooking around 6 o'clock. Do you like that? Everything gets cooking. I didn't even realize I was doing that. All right. So that'll be happening. But I did want to mention, Duke Energy. Are you aware of this? Duke Energy again seeking to raise South Carolina power bills. The request comes less than a year after the company's last rate hike in the upstate. This is significant. Now, I'm not saying that they don't need it. I am sure that they do need it, but it's also at a time where power bills are higher than what they have been. And of course, we did have a lot of damage with Helene and everything. But Duke Energy is again seeking to increase electricity rates, this time for all of its 857,000 South Carolina customers across the upper third of the state. Less than a year after they last raised rates in the upstate, power bills for those Duke Energy residential customers could go up an average of $10.38 a month in March of 2026. It says in the PD, residential customers could see a $21 monthly hike starting February of 2026. Roughly 3 years after the utility raised rates for those customers. However, in the upstate, they had a raise last year, so less than a year later, they're asking for another $10 on average, $10.38 in the upstate. It says, and I quote, President Duke Energy's Tim Pearson said in a statement, "We know families and businesses are juggling a lot. Oh, that's right. You are listening to WCRS on the radio, and you're listening right here on Facebook Live. We know families and businesses are juggling a lot. We do not take a request to increase rates lightly, but being upfront and timely with our request is the right thing to do and in the best interest of our customers." Now, isn't that a gobbledygook of terms there? It's in the best interest of our customers. I love that. No, it's not. But it's nice that you tell us that it is. Do we believe everything that we're told? That is the question. In filings with state regulators, the North Carolina headquartered company said it built 600 miles of new power lines and 6,800 transformers in 23 and 24. It's also seeking to charge South Carolina customers for $90 million share of maintenance to its nuclear power plants, a $34 million share, a $3,400 million share of its gas plants, a $4,300 million share of hydropower, and an $11 million share of batteries for a solar farm. Oh, come on. Batteries for a solar farm we have to help pay for? $11 million? Okay, $90 million share for maintenance of its nuclear power plants, a $34 million share of its gas plants, a $43 million share of hydropower, and an $11 million share of batteries for a solar farm. In addition, the company wants to replenish its storm response fund in the wake of Hurricane Helene. 3 months after the massive storms swept across the southeast, knocking out power to 4.7 million customers in 9 states, the company's reserve fund has a negative balance of $23 million. Then it doesn't have a balance. Okay, the company wrote in documents filed with the State Public Service Commission. Duke Energy Carolinas just raised its rates less than a year ago, and now they're asking to hike bills once again. If the request is approved, residential customers will be nearly $23 a month higher than 4th of July last year, said the Southern Environmental Law Center senior attorney Kate Mixon. Not to mention the new rate hike, if approved, could take place before the old rate increase even goes fully in effect. So you had a rate increase. It's not really fully in effect, I guess, across all of the users of Duke Power, and now they want to add another one. So rates already set to bump up again in the upstate on August 1st by $6.42 a month for the average customer using 1,000 kilowatts of electricity a month. So that's another thing to consider. PD area ones are going to be even more expensive. Tax credits passed during the first Trump administration will be extended as part of the Republicans' massive tax and spending package titled One Big Beautiful Bill. But it's unclear whether Duke would continue to pass on any new savings from the extension to its customers. So that's it. This is a huge increase and something I wanted you to be aware of. Yes, they had to use a lot of their money to repair. Part of it, though, if I remember this now correctly, was that a lot of the lines that were down went through country areas and had not been maintained. So part of their problem was they couldn't get back in there because the brush and green had overgrown. So should we look at the fact that maybe some of the things of problems with Duke was of their own bringing on them? I'm not suggesting that the storm was not a huge problem that brought a lot down, but was Duke making sure that they were maintaining things? And why is it, whether it is our state government, our federal government, or independent companies, do we all of a sudden see these massive increases because they need to do maintenance on this? I mean, just the figures that we read here, that I read you just a minute ago, are huge. Why has this not been taken care of before? Why are they now it's seeking a charge South Carolina customers for $90 million share of maintenance to its nuclear power plants, $34 million share of its gas plants, a $43 million share of hydropower, and an $11 million share of batteries for a solar farm. Okay. I would like to know what you are thinking about this. So is part of it negligence over the years? Is part of it negligence? And should we have to pay for the negligence of Duke Power? Now, you remember the Conisty Dam? There is another issue where nobody wanted to take responsibility for the chemicals and whatnot that had been put into the dam. It had been a situation which had been let to deteriorate. And I know that Duke Power has made some generous contributions to the rebuilding of the dam up there. But were they not partially at fault for the problem at that point? So when you look at this, I'm sure that they need the money. And where would you go? Of course you would go to your customer base. But is it really fair that some of the decisions that Duke has made be put on the shoulders of those that pay for their electricity through Duke? I don't really think so. I think this is a question of responsibility, and where should the money come from? The ratepayers who did without service what was done for those that did not have service for so long, while they had to go into the countryside and to try to get in there, and they were all talking about, oh, what a problem it was, blah, blah, blah. Exactly, they contributed to it by negligence over the years. Basically, if it isn't broken, don't fix it approach. You know, we could say the same thing about the roads here in South Carolina. And the bridges. We kicked the can so far down the road until it became an absolutely desperate situation instead of fixing things as you go. I feel the same way about the roads and bridges. So I just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was an interesting story out there. I'm sure one they didn't want anybody talking about. But we talked about it right here on WCRS. Anyways, I'm Ann Eller right here with you this morning. I did want to play a song by John Shane here for you. He is coming down from North Carolina, from Durham. He works with artists to as his bio said, to unlock their potential. I thought that was great. When somebody has a brain lock, who do you go see? John Shane. That's who you go see. So I really wanted to play a song, and then I've got a few closing a few closing points, Ann. This is not a trial. Oh, okay. I wanted to share with you here this morning. So let's see if I can pull it up. Lots of good music was played yesterday afternoon. We're going to play some great music this afternoon, and we've got some great artists with us this afternoon starting at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. So let's see, where is it? Yeah, this one let's see, what was the one I liked? Because there's a couple of them I really liked. Honey, what would you like me to do? And he swears that it had nothing to do with a relationship he had. Uh-huh. Are we believing that one? Let's take it away. I'm not sure I'll play the whole thing, but we'll play part of it for you. John Shane, honey, what would you like me to do? Take it away.
Sing you a love song, sing you the blues, stand beneath your window without my shoes. Honey, what you like me to do for you? Bring you cookies, I bake you a cake, I make a rhubarb pie for Pete's sake. Honey, what you like me to do for you? Oh, baby, won't you let me back in? Oh, baby, tell me we're still friends. I'm so sorry, I know it's a sin. Oh, babe, I promise it won't happen again. Take me back, give me a squeeze. I never look at your sister Louise. Honey, what you like me to do for you? I'll visit your mama down on the bayou. I'd do anything to satisfy you. Honey, what you like me to do for you? Oh, baby, won't you let me back in? Oh, baby, tell me we're still friends. I'm so sorry, and I know it's a sin. Oh, babe, I promise it won't happen again. Call the firemen, call the cops. This love of mine ain't got no stops. Honey, what you like me to do for you? Honey, what you like me to do for you?
Oh, yeah. I love that song. I thought that was just a really fun, neat song here. That's John Shane. He is going to be, where is John going to be? Let's see, I've got it right here. Friday at Montague, 7 to 10, Friday night. And Saturday on Waller Avenue, 3 to 4. Now, don't forget, they have set up an acoustical stage right there on Waller Avenue. So they're going to have a lot of artists coming through right there. John will be playing there 3 to 4 on Waller Avenue Saturday. So you've got music starting Thursday evening, right there in Uptown Greenwood. That is at 6 o'clock, 6 to 6:45. Bernard Purdy and Dave Keys will be playing it, opening up the whole show. Couldn't think of a better way to start the show. That is so great. Then they have people that are going to be at the Inn on the Square on the main stage. Oregon Station is actually going to be, if you see anything that says Oregon Station, it's actually at the courtyard right behind Flynn's, where the Greenwood building is, that cobblestone area that normally they don't let anybody go in. Well, guess what? That's going to be a place for you to listen to music that would have originally been at the Oregon Station. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing? What is holding up the Oregon Station? Steel. We can't get any steel to finish up the building, or they're waiting on steel to get it, or maybe they've gotten it, but they're still behind. So I just wanted to share that, and I wanted to share that song. I thought that was a nice song, and they're going to be using the stage that is on Waller there as an acoustical stage. So, FYI, if you like a little of acoustical music, you can just sit right there and have the music come to you. Now, I also wanted to share, if you need help, let's see if I can get to where I wanted to get on this. If you need help to get to and from places, they are going to be having, I thought that's where it was. They are going to have, Harley is going to be having a shuttle service back and forth. I think that's pretty cool to get people that need handicap shuttles, sponsored by Harley. They'll be doing that Friday, July 11th, 11 to 2 and 4 to 6. Saturday, 11 to 2 and 4 to 6. They'll have a golf cart, and they'll be shuttling people around. All you have to do, and this is an important number, if you need it, you might want to jot it down, 864-389 4070 for shuttle service during these times. They will actually take you from where you're parked, your car, to where you want to go at the festival. So that is a cool service. And Harley Funeral Home and Crematory, one of our sponsors right here on WCRS, our hats are off to you. That is a great service. So here's the number again, 864-389 4070. That's 864-389 4070. So if you need some help, make sure you write that number down so that you can get what you need. All right, now Princess Penny is becoming quite a princess. It took her to get groomed. You know, I'm going to just switch over. This is just a personal comment time. I've been a little depressed. I'll just admit it. I've been a little depressed with my training on Penny because I don't think she's moving along as quickly as I would like to see her moving along. Not for my own personal gain, but just because I consider that what I do is just hard, and she needs to come along and get with the program so she can start being at events, so she can start sitting up here at the seat and be part of what is going on. And because of that, UPS dropped off something. Okay, that's what we got, Penny's, just UPS. But I've been working real hard with Penny on this, jumping on people, being so excited. She thinks everybody comes to see her. She's such a lover and everything. Took her to get her groomed yesterday as a princess needed a spa day. And when I went to pick her up, this was the comment I heard. I'm always scared, right? And the gal that groomed her said, has groomed her a couple of times before. She looked at me, she goes, Ann, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. Penny was an absolute gem. I was just like, really? She goes, yeah. She let me just trim her face and do all these things she needed to do. No issues at all. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Well, that made me feel pretty good. That made me feel pretty good. So then after the show last night, we went for our training with Penny's princess training. And I'd taken a video at some of Penny's worst moments when she wouldn't behave, and so that my trainer could see what it was we were having issues with. And she said, okay, this is fine. Let's get a couple of chairs. We'll go sit down. When Penny got out of the car, she ran over to the trainer, but she didn't jump on her. And she goes, oh, my God, Ed, she's doing great. And I'm like, okay, this is a good sign. And then Penny's running around because we do it outside, and she's running around and she's being pretty good. And I show her the video and she goes, okay, this is something we need to work on. So we get a couple of chairs and we go sit down, and Penny's a perfect little lady, a perfect princess. She just laid at my feet. She laid in the grass. She was not any problem at all. And she goes, I guess we won't work on that today, Ann. And then when we were doing recall, every time she went to do something, Penny just came like a champ. And it was, you just felt like, well, maybe it's working. Maybe it's working. So I had an upper day as far as Penny was concerned. I had an upper day yesterday because I was able to do what most people told me I wouldn't be able to do. Put people on the air, talk to them off air, play their music, and do all this stuff. And yours truly actually did it all and didn't lose anybody. Nobody had to call back and get back on the air. So a pretty good day overall yesterday. We'll see how today goes. No guarantees on today, folks, but we'll see how today goes. What else did I have? I had one other thing I just want to bring to your attention here. This is a pretty serious article that Renee Ortiz over there at the Index Journal has written about. He would reoffend is the title of it. Assault survivor warned court years before the man's arrest. Months after, let's see, when Alexis Kopp took the witness stand in a Georgia courtroom in 2025, she pleaded with the judge not to let her attacker walk free. I told the judge that day in court that I just knew he would reoffend. She said the man was a dangerous person. Well, he was let free. She was right. This did happen again. And the reason I bring this up, because this is a case that happened in South Carolina, Georgia, and now Florida, and has been allowed to remain free on probation with court-ordered therapy that never happened. South Carolina connection began at Lander University. So now Alexis Kopp is speaking out to warn others and encourage any additional survivors to come forth. So I think this is a story that definitely bears looking at, and I find it hard to believe that this is a situation where he has been allowed to go free, is still free. And I wanted to bring up, if they have it in here, about the article. I actually haven't read the whole thing, but it's quite an in-depth article. The Lander connection, Singleton's record stretches back to April of 2021 when he was arrested by Lander University police in Greenwood for allegedly exposing himself to students in the Bearcat Lounge restroom. At that time, he falsely claimed to be a student visiting friends. Campus police confirmed he'd never attended Lander and had no legitimate reason to be on school property. He was charged with indecent exposure and disturbing schools and later served 2.5 years, according to court records and statements from victims. So this is somebody that I don't know if he has any connection to here, but they are looking for more information. Riviera Beach Police Department. Has anybody else, I guess, here in Greenwood had an experience with this guy because I think that's what they're looking for, is to see if there's any other connections, since he has been here in Greenwood. So Singleton is that is his name, and I think that this type of thing should be dealt with. You know, this is the problem with our court systems, is that so many times things happen and it is not taken, I'll use the word, seriously on the first count. Now, I do think we are having a different attitude coming down the pike, but it is still something that has not been dealt with. So how does this work as far as getting more people to come forward, is what this Alexis cop is looking for. The guy's name here that was here in Greenwood, that was on the Lander campus back in 2021. I guess what they're looking for, if there are any other connections to this, and that is, his name is Isaiah Singleton. Isaiah Singleton. So I bring that up. If anybody's listening that has had a experience with him, you might ought to come forward and say something about it, because we do need to get this man off the street if he is doing what they say he is doing. And of course, until things are proved, they are allegedly happening. Now, he did serve 2.5 years, according to the records, according to this story from Renee, for his exposure episode here at Lander. But was there anything else going on at Lander or around in our community back in that time, 2021? Just thought we'd put that out there, because that's an important story. All right, well, I think I have talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Princess Penny, as I said, is making strides. Some days when you think she's not making strides, and then she goes out and makes you proud, you just go, kind of like your kids, right? Somebody, they go to school and they're doing great and everything, and the teacher goes, "Oh, your child is such an angel." And I don't know how many people I've heard say, "Really?" Yes, your child is just such an angel. We just want to tell you your child is just great. He pays attention, yada, 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 right? And here you are sitting here trying to figure out what the heck is going on. So I just thought I would mention that this morning. Anybody got any comments here? 864-229-7984. Princess Penny is impressing people outside her home. Not always in her home that much, but outside of her home. I do have to tell you, big day yesterday. Not only did she get kudos, she caught the frisbee that I was throwing. In midair, she caught the frisbee. This is huge, folks. This is huge. She is going to be going for competition frisbee soon. There you go. All right, I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Hope you will tune in this afternoon. If you like what I'm doing right here on WCRS, number one, make sure you get notified in notifications. And when we go live, how does that happen? Well, I'm going to tell you real quick, and then I'm going to go out. On your phone, on WC, if you go to WCRS 98.5 FM 1450 AM Facebook page, tap the following button right under the cover photo. Then tap notifications or the bell icon, depending on what comes up on your phone. Turn on live video notifications. Switch it to all notifications. And that way, when I'm out on the street this weekend, you'll get notified. Who knows, you might want to live vicariously through me for the festival. If you just don't feel like getting out on the heat, you might want to do that. So you can do that. That's on your phone. On your desktop, it says you can go to WCRS's Facebook page, hover and click the following button, click notifications, then live videos, and it says select all live videos. Done. You'll get an alert every time we go live. So that is something just to add to your notifications. And if you want to know what we're doing this weekend, of course, you can always go back and change it. But you might want to know where I'm at. Follow me around. See where we're going at the festival this weekend. I hope I'm going to be up for it. God almighty. Anyways, it's a lot of fun this time of the year, and I wouldn't want to miss any part of it. Hope you have enjoying what we're doing. Tune in this afternoon at 4 o'clock, not 5, 4 o'clock. I'll still be on the air at 4, but you will have missed some great interviews. Tune in at 4. That, my friends, is going to do it for me. Have a great day. This is WCRS Radio. Take it away with the end of the show. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.